Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of James. We're in James chapter 5, today looking at verse 12. Now, James is giving advice to believers on how to effectively live the Christian life, how to demonstrate the kind of behavior of one who is following after Jesus. Notice what he says in verse 12 of chapter 5. Above all, my brothers and sisters, do not swear, not by heaven, or by earth, or by anything else. All you need to say is a simple yes or no. Otherwise, you will be condemned. He's talking about the use of language, and he says, do not swear. Now, he does not mean by that cursing or profanity. You know, in modern times, when we say someone is swearing, we often mean they are using profane, cursing kind of language. But in this context, he means do not swear, do not take an oath. You know, when you take an oath in court, you swear. It's that use of the word swear. But he says, don't take an oath. Now, why does he say that? What does he mean here? It's kind of reflective of something that Jesus said. You remember in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 33 and following, Jesus said a very similar thing during the Sermon on the Mount. Let's read that, Matthew 5, verses 33 and following. Again, you've heard it said of people long ago, do not break your oath, but fulfill to the Lord the vows you have made. But I tell you, do not swear an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great King. Do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even one hair white or black. All you need to say is simply yes or no. Anything that's beyond this comes from the evil one. So we see Jesus saying the same thing. Do not swear an oath, but rather let your speech be simply yes or no. So James is simply reflecting what the Lord had said. But again, why is he telling us not to take an oath? Well, it reflects something in the custom of the time. There was this feeling that you only had to be honest in what you said when you swore an oath. There was this feeling in biblical times, in the culture at large, that you only had to be honest if you swore an oath. If you took an oath by the name of God, or you took an oath by Jerusalem, the city of the King, but if you took an oath, then you were required to be honest. But if you didn't take an oath, there was no requirement for honesty. What Jesus said, and what James is echoing, is to simply say that is not so. You should not be an honest person just because you took an oath. You should always be an honest person. All of your speech should be true speech. Let your yes be yes. Let your no be no. Whether you take an oath or not is irrelevant. As a follower of Jesus, you should be a person of honesty. I mean, what would we think about a person who could only be trusted if you made them swear an oath? If you made them take some kind of solemn oath as if they could never be trusted otherwise? Christians should not be known as being that sort of people. Jesus said, and James echoed, keep your speech simple and honest and straightforward. As followers of the Lord, our speech should be simple speech. When we say yes, it should mean yes. When we say no, it should mean no. And whether we take an oath or not should not matter. We should be the kind of people who are recognized as being trustworthy in what they say and in all that they say. That's what the Bible means. That's what Jesus meant. That's what the author of James meant when he said, use simple speech. May your speech be easily understood by everyone, and may it be honest speech. Don't try to deceive. Don't try to mislead people. And don't make them think you could only be trustworthy if you've taken an oath. You should always be trustworthy. Your speech should always be trusted, because as a follower of me, Jesus says, you should be a trustworthy person. So use simple, honest, truthful speech. May your yes be a yes, and may your no be a no. That's why I said anything else is condemned. Because anything else would be trying to deceive or mislead people, and that is not worthy of the people of Christ. So, let us use simplicity in our speech. Let everyone understand what we're saying, and let them know that when we say something, it is true. Our yes means yes, and our no means no. Join us tomorrow as we continue our 5-minute Bible study in the book of James.